Hi and welcome everyone. Lisa here for Whimsy Stamps. So today is a mini release day for Whimsy, and I'm going to be sharing the new Tropical Cove red rubber stamp with you, plus a new technique. So I've took inspiration from the photo editing technique that you see people do where you'll have a photo and turn it grayscale. You'll pick one item, a focal item out of that photo, and you'll turn it a pop of color. So that's what we're doing here. I'm going to be using my stamp positioning tool because it just makes things easier when you do repeat stamping. And I do want to be able to stamp this a couple of times just to make sure I'm getting a nice solid stamped image. Plus, I'm doing more than one card, so I can just pop that paper out, put a new piece in, and stamp again right away. I'm using Memento Tuxedo Black ink, and that's key to using ink that's alcohol marker friendly. So we're going to go ahead and stamp this a couple of times. Like I said, just making sure I'm getting a nice solid stamped image. Once we have it stamped, we're going to pull it out and then we're going to mask it off with some purple tape. So all I'm doing is lining this purple tape up along the edge of the stamped image. I'm going to run it across the bottom as well. And then at the top, I just guesstimate. I don't measure it. I look at it and I'm like, yep, that looks about right. And I just lay it straight across the top. We're going to come in with some gray ink. Now, remember, we're using an alcohol marker friendly ink. So I'm using Memento London Fog ink with mine. We're going to do a light blend of gray ink over our stamped image. Now, for this particular panel, I'm going to be coloring the boat. So I'm going to try to avoid that area as much as possible. But if I happen to get a little bit of that gray ink on the boat while I'm ink blending, no biggie because it's friendly for my markers. I can just color over it. Now, I did come in with some of my neutral grays so that I could add some different shades of gray because you don't want your background to just be one solid or flat looking gray. You want to add some dimension to it. And for this technique, you can use darker shades of gray to help add dimension. Now I'm coming in with R32 so I can color my boat. The colors that I picked for this technique, the grays with the teals, the corals, and the yellows, those are some of my favorite color combos together. And that's why I picked those colors. No other reason than I just love them together. So we're going to go ahead, peel the tape back, and we have our panels ready. So you can see it's a very simple technique. It's just ink blending over your panel once you have it taped off, and then coming in with some darker grays and adding some dimension and depth to your image with those darker grays, and then coloring your one image a different color. Okay, so we just stamped the word adventure from the Happy Sayings stamp set onto black cardstock with Versamark ink, and I did use anti-static powder before I stamped it because we're heat embossing. So white embossing powder is what I'm using. I'm taking the time to clean off those stray specks of embossing powder with my brush, and then we're going to come in and go ahead and heat set these. Now, once they're heat set and cooled off, we're going to wipe that extra anti-static powder off, and then we're going to use our paper trimmer and trim those down. And you can see here where we're at so far. Now, I picked slate gray for my card bases, and I thought that that gray just really set the panels off better than anything else. I tried yellow, tried coral, I tried teal. None of them worked for me, and the slate gray just happened to be spot on for me. Now, you can change your card bases up to any that you prefer, but I just really like the way that that slate gray works with this image. Now, I did run that large Happy Word through my die cut machine several times with white cardstock. I have double-sided adhesive on the back of each of those so I can stack a couple of them together, and then we'll go ahead and finish putting our cards together. liquid adhesive to the back of your panel. If you don't want to add any more dimension to your cards, then use liquid adhesive. But on two of mine, I actually used mounting foam behind the panel. But I did want to show you that you can use a liquid adhesive. So if that's a concern for you of mailing things and you don't want the bulk, then go ahead and use your liquid adhesive for this. Now I'm going to go ahead, peel the release paper off the back of this happy word and go ahead and place it on our card base. Then we'll come in and add that word adventures below that. And that's all we're going to do to finish these cards up. And then I decided I would add some white enamel dots just to add a little bit of interest there on the gray, the slate gray. And that's going to wrap it up. Super easy. It's a quick technique, but I love the way these turned out. Let me know what you think about it in the comments below. I realize that it's not going to be a technique for everybody, but I was just thinking, how cool would it be if you could like Christmas time on the beach? Really fun if we had like a palm tree with Christmas lights in it, and then you just colored the lights and then you did everything else in the grayscale. That would be a lot of fun. So, again, let me know what you think about the technique in the comments below. I love hearing from you guys. I hope you enjoy. Be sure you click that subscribe button and ring the bell if you haven't already, so you'll be notified of new content coming to the channel. As you probably know, we have 3 design team members joining us for a video team. We are super excited about that and cannot wait for July 1st to get here so you guys can be introduced to them here on the channel. Plus, we're going to have some giveaways going on as well that week. So you're going to want to be sure to get that notification when that happens. Again, thanks so much for joining me. And for more information on the products I used in the video, head over to the Whimsy Stamps website. And I hope you have an amazing